during the work on the previous machines, I thought I knew everything. I knew I was making a masterpiece. I knew it was going to work. I just knew it. How come then the machines failed? Obviously, I hadn't done my homework, and there is a tool that's called known knowns and known unknowns. And I prepared this right here. I'm going to use this tool. First of all, I want to show it to you and share it to you. I never used it myself, but I've been showed it before as a risk management tool. And right now, I think it's a great time to use it to decide what next steps to work on in this project. And also to communicate to all of you that are following the project where I'm at and how I see the most important parts. And I've been trying to explain to Sir 3K before the stream, and I didn't really do a good job of that. So let's hope that we get some really nice information out of this exercise and nice next steps for the project. Anyway, knowing what you don't know is can be very powerful, and thinking that you know something that you don't know can lead you to making some
brilliant mistakes.
Thank you. My friend Sir 3K is here to bring the hype, and we're gonna get straight into it. So in this stream, we're going to decide next steps in my design process through this exercise. And we're gonna do that in step 2 by filling out these known knowns and known unknowns. And I'm going to, already now, I would like suggestions from chat, different things that belong in different squares. And 2 nights ago, me and Hannes had such a nice brainstorm. So pretty soon in the stream, I want to have a brainstorming session, highest level, on what this project is and especially the footprint of the machine. If we should build a big functional machine or if we should build a smaller all-in-one that looks like the previous machines. And then we're going to be done. So I'm looking very much forward to this brainstorming session because, Hannes, you had a lot to say about the project, especially you named it the DNA of the project.
That stuck with you, right?
What stuck with me is that sometime when I talk to you about the machine, it feels like you have more insights around the machine than I have, thanks to your perspective. And I wanted to kind of have a little bit the same brainstorm discussion with you on stream, and also with the viewers in chat. So welcome everyone joining. Thanks for being here.
And speaking of perspective, Rosero Bertoli is in the chat.
Engineer.
Yeah, nice title. The downfall of knowing more and more is that you realize more and more how little you actually know. Sometimes ignorance really is bliss.
Nice to see you here, Rosero. It's Socrates who said, I know only how little I know.
Yeah.
And I think I'm so happy to see you here, Rosero. I think most of you will agree that this started 2 days ago when me and Hannes were trying to find old experiment I did on the Marble Machine X with timing of the marbles. And I heard myself in the video sitting there, I think I'm making a masterpiece. Trying to be the hype man for the project, trying to hype everyone up that's watching the video. So this was like 1.5 or 2 years ago. And I just saw myself from outside when I saw myself like how little I knew. And even worse, how much I thought I knew that I actually did not know. And maybe I'm going overboard right now, but currently in this project, I kind of feel that the project is impossible. Or maybe not impossible, but sorry, let me go to this screen. I know that I don't know how to make this project. Do you remember an ad on YouTube, Hannes, that was for the composer who made the music to Dune, the famous, what's his name? Meet Your New Instructor?
Hans Zimmer?
Hans Zimmer. It was from Masterclass, and it was like, meet your new instructor. And it says, there's your question and a reply. He said, I never forget that in the ad. And he said, I don't know how to compose the music for your movie, was one of his blurb quotes in that ad for his masterclass of movie composition of music. And right now I feel I don't know how to build a marble machine. For all these years, I thought I knew, but I didn't. So let's get straight into it. This is the
good
preamble.
thing is that you have stopped being that naive hype man for yourself, and you instead acquired another external hype man to sit and engage with the viewers and hyping you up.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm so happy for that, by the way. And basically what I hope this exercise will lead to, and I keep on repeating, I'm totally honest, I don't know if I'm going to try to build this machine. What I'm trying to find out is that if we can have a CAD file that is promising enough to embark on that crazy journey. And what I want to do, so let's go to the next step on the list. Let's get into the knowns. So what I want to do is that I want to take things, are that one and the same thing? I want to take things that are known unknowns and move them over to known knowns. And there are some special important ones that I think I want to talk about today. So let's just get into a little bit about this system. And I just want to show you a website I found. I never worked with this system, but I think this was a good a website. So I'm just going to give a very quick overview. How to use the knowns and unknowns technique to manage assumptions. What assumptions are there that we know? They have been validated. What assumptions are there that we can know but have not yet been validated? Those are the ones I want to focus on in this stream. What assumptions are there that we cannot know? And they put this in this kind of square. So I've taken the words in this square from this website. It's a famous method. And so quickly, high level about each category. Known knowns. Known knowns are assumptions that have been validated and are now facts. However, it is important to note that known knowns are not necessarily static. Known knowns could change over the course of a project. The price or a lead time for a certain component can significantly change the scope, cost, or schedule, making them important to identify and monitor as a potential risk. So when I say when I say here that I know the programming wheel, how the programming wheel will work. So basically how I'm going to use this is that I want to show you the unresolved questions I have, the most important unresolved questions, the known unknowns for getting to the point where I know if the machine will be viable or not. So my known knowns now, for example, I just made some example, is program AB change. We have solved that. We have made an assumption that we have solved that. It can change, but it belongs in the known knowns category. I have an assumption about how I want to make the programming pin. I have an assumption about how I want to make the programming wheel. 3 weeks ago, I didn't have those. So that's progress. So let's check the second category, the known unknowns. Known unknowns are assumptions that we haven't or can't validate. Most assumptions identified during project planning start in this category. They can be classified into 3 types. First, assumptions that can become known knowns if they're validated. That's what I'm going to talk about today. Let's get straight into the third category, unknown knowns. And this is where I have to read to actually understand better myself here. Where known knowns and known unknowns are assumptions that can be dealt with proactively beforehand. That's what we're doing now. Unknown knowns and unknown unknowns are issues that must be dealt with reactively, which is very, very interesting. So in a design process, we're only planning for the 2 top squares, the known knowns and the known unknowns. But we have to be prepared to react in a good way to the two bottom categories, unknown knowns, unknown unknowns. So what are unknown knowns? Unknown knowns are assumptions that could have been identified as known knowns in the planning but weren't. Things we missed. And they are now affecting the project. Unknown knowns occur most often as the result of poor communication. A project manager knows that a certain township reviews permit applications only once per month, but fails to volunteer this information or is not asked. The next project manager working with this township experience the same pain point. Okay, so let me try to just understand this category. The way they said it here is that I don't know, but somebody does and they ain't telling. It is things that can be forecasted, but wasn't. So we don't know it, but someone else does. We should have known it.
Is there any way that I can know what site this is on? People want the link to it?
Oh yeah, the persimmongroup.com.
Persimmon Group.
The persimmongroup.com. And the DHE is in the same word. The persimmongroup.com. I should have put the link in the description if you can find it. Let's quickly look at the last square. Unknown unknowns. Chalk them up to Murphy's Law, meaning things you can't control. Unknown unknowns are true surprises. A project that encounters a major delay due to a political coup in the country where the equipment is manufactured. Unknown unknowns should be shared through lessons learned for future risk considerations for projects as a known unknown. Force, I wrote like in my version here, I wrote force majeure, Murphy's Law. And a famous Stoic technique is to only try to focus on the things that you have control over. And in that exercise, part of it is admitting and realizing how little you have control over in your life. For example, the Stoic says that you have control over your goals, for example. So focus on what goals you're setting. So the fourth square down to the right, we can kind of know that it's there. There's Murphy's Law, stuff can happen, but these are exactly the events that no one can predict. So that square is okay. Unknown unknowns. HTP as stock material for programming wheel is not an unknown knowns. It should be up here in known unknowns. If someone in chat has suggestions for anything I can put here in unknown knowns that relates to the Marble Machine 3 project, I would love to, because I can't actually think of examples. It doesn't really matter because the business end of this live stream happens up here. So why did I want to talk about this and why did I want to work with this today? It's because I feel that this helps me point out what I need to spend my focus on from here. So in this list here, what are the most important known unknowns up to the right here? I can't highlight it for you. I can do that.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that zoom.
Woohoo. So the big things, which I think is highly important that we focus on now, is machine footprint. Let's try to color that text red. Did I do it correctly? I did, but I want to make it really red. There. This is something that is on top of my mind. Instrument positions, same thing there. Important. Double release gate to one hit point, not as important for now. Pacman or escapement gate, not as important for now. HTTP as stock material for programming wheel, not as important for now. Marble size and material, and so I put this into same thing, but it doesn't matter because I want to make them both red. Bowden hydraulics cost and friction, because let's start with Bowden cable. If it's true that a Bowden cable have little enough friction so I can place a module on the side and activate the mechanics somewhere and pull maybe a 1.5 meter long Bowden cable, and it's fast enough for a marble gate and it's timely accurate. That would open up a design space where we can have instruments far away from the programming wheel. And I never worked with Bowden cables. I don't know anything about them. So it's a known unknown. I do not know if this would work for the machine. And the marble size and material, like I bought some rubber balls and some wooden balls, but I haven't really gone into it. And this will also, if we realize that we want 40 millimeters marbles, that will give a lot of, it will have a big impact on the future design of the Marble Machine 3.
Sorry for interrupting you, Martin.
No.
Did you want unknown knowns from chat?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's start off with something here then. From John H. Unknown knowns. Can CAD demo the entire machine to validate functionality and marbles? Question mark.
That's a good suggestion, John. Unknown knowns. Can CAD demo the entire machine to validate functionality and marbles? So I'm just thinking. I think this should be. This is a very good place to start. I just think, why is it not a known unknown? What makes an unknown? I don't know, but okay, I don't know what somebody does and they ain't telling. Does it qualify as an unknown known? I'm gonna put it there. I like the idea.
Yeah, start with that, and we have another one coming up.
Can physics sim validate the machine? And I'm going to put that in black.
Yeah. And Satish Kumar, unknown known, the maximum marble flow rate needed for a song.
I think that's a known unknown. Because if we go back to the website, let's try to understand it's a good suggestion. I just want to learn here. Let's try to understand the difference between known unknowns and unknown knowns, because I'm a little bit not clear on that. So known unknowns are assumptions that we haven't or can't validate. 3 types. Let me read everything. Assumptions that can become known knowns if they are validated. Assumptions that can become known knowns at some point in the future, but not now. Okay, so we can't access the information now, but
it can be known.
Yeah, it can be known in the future. Assumptions that can't become knowns because we can't control them. Also, that's things that always stay in that category.
Mm-hmm.
The last type of known knowns, those that can't be controlled. Flux in the price of fuel, estimated weather delays for a construction project, should be classified as risks in project planning.
Okay.
So
shortage of marbles globally.
Yes, marble shortage, because sudden increase in marble machine popularity. So let's see now what. So here it is. I read it. I had to read it again. Known knowns and known unknowns are assumptions that can be dealt with proactively. Unknown knowns and unknown unknowns are issues that must be dealt with reactively. Unknown knowns are assumptions that could have been identified. This is where I'm a little confused, but weren't, and is now affecting the project. Unknown knowns occur most often as the result of poor communication. So it's not that we... So can you bring up the last comment again? So your suggestion here is, I think it's a known unknown.
Okay.
Marble flow rate. I'm gonna make some smaller type so we can fit more suggestions. So marble flow rate is a known unknown because we can validate.
And Cookie Crumbs unknown known is when you know the question but not the answer.
That's a good definition. When you know the question but not know the answer. Yeah, I don't know, but somebody does and they ain't telling. So yeah. So this is gonna be like part 2 of this exercise, is to better understand the square down to the left, because I'm a little bit confused about it, and it doesn't really matter for now because I understand the first 2 and those are the ones that I'm working with. But known, unknown.
Boo Champ, known unknown, what are the minimum deliverable product? Does the machine need the drums included?
So that's a nice one. I think there's something in product design called MVP, which is minimum valid product. Can you search for MVP in product development?
Yeah, not in sports.
Minimum valuable.
Minimum viable product.
That's the word. Thank you so much. Minimum viable product. I think that's what you mean, Bebo Champ. What are the minimum deliverable product? That's minimum viable product. I think that's exactly what you mean. Does the machine need the drums included? Yeah, so the minimum viable product is exactly what we're writing in our design requirements document. That is actually, so I think this exercise will help me choose what to focus on and also explain to you why the thing that I'm researching right now in my head. So I'm going to try to choose some things, and I'm going to try to research these known unknowns and make it possible for me to drag them over so they become known knowns. And I think when I have enough known knowns, I will be able to make a decision if this project is feasible or not.
Yeah, and I thought this was a nice explanation from Doro. Or in other words, our suggestions are unknown knowns for you, as long as you aren't aware of them. Once you know about them, they will go to known unknowns.
That's interesting.
Because you couldn't foresee eventual problems because you didn't know about them. Yeah.
And I think like, since we're working in a digital file in CAD, I think like it will be much easier for example, the whole community to call out what for me are unknown knowns and tell them to me, and so I can put them into known unknowns or even known knowns later. So let's talk about these 4 red things. Before that's actually where we're going into. I think we're done actually with the knowns step. This is basically most what I wanted to show you is my relationship to these 4 red items. Marble size and material. Is Bowden cables or hydraulic cables a viable option? The Marble Machine X footprint, short, if we're allowed to make it big, I know I can make this machine work. If we need to make it small and everything is convoluted and sit on top of each other, I don't know if I even want to try to do it. I also don't even know if I want to try to build a big machine. So that's a machine footprint discussion. And then instrument positions. Maybe instrument positions and machine footprint is the same thing, actually. Yeah, it's the same. I'm going to remove the second one, and I'm going to add instrument positions to machine footprint. It's the same thing. inst pos.
This is kind of interesting as well from the organ guy. Unknown knowns. Your current design requirements are too ambitious.
That's a super nice one. Because that was exactly what happened. I love to show this. So if we go back to when I saw myself 3 days ago on a video and I was like, God, I was naive. I was so naive. And I went only on like I was going only on adrenaline. At that time, my current design requirements were too ambitious for my skill. And I know that Oregon guy thinks that I should use also 22 tracks. So maybe that's what you're getting at here, unknown knowns. And I agree with you, like the 37 double drop vibraphone with 174 registrators are perhaps too ambitious.
And you don't know that until you know it. So that's unknown.
So this was a fantastic example. So I'm going to write it here. Current DR too ambitious. I should probably not use abbreviations because this is abstract enough as it is. We're trying to go a mainstream evergreen here. Requirements. Photoshop is absolutely the software to use for this presentation, by the way. Definitely.
Simple and easy. Should go to Microsoft Paint from Windows 98 or something that we saw earlier today.
So this is super nice. Unknown knowns. Can physics sim validate the machine? Current design requirements too ambitious or not. So I boiled it down to 3 things now: marble size and material, Bowden hydraulics, cost friction, machine footprint. So now you know how I think about choosing next step, and these red ones are the ones that I want to investigate, and if possible, try to validate these 3 to known knowns. And I want to start today with a brainstorming session with Sir 3K.
Oh wow, we're already there.
Yeah.
Yahoo!
We're there, and you can keep on suggesting things to put into the squares. But for now, I'm going to play a mole if I can. It's important for me.
It's important for all of us.
Hear the sound.
We heard it.
So that's where, there we go.
Oh yeah.
So this is kind of how I was before. And the difference here is that is Alan Turing who says that, and no comparison otherwise between me and Alan Turing. So we are on step 3.
Yes.
And let's see how to do this. Let's go to CAD and let's just look at our craziness here.
Our beautiful machine.
So, Sir 3K. We had a slide earlier that was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Can we pick that up? The comparison between the modular versus the all-in one design.
Give me a second.
I think that's a great start to kick this brainstorming session off. I'm also going to sketch on my sketch pad. So I've had very pessimistic feeling the last days.
Yes.
Hannes is getting annoyed with me because my hype is gone.
I can't cope with that.
No,
I just go on pure opium.
I'm zero hype right now, because I don't see a way forward right now, and what I mean is that it might be good. It might be good that I don't think I know how to do this. Like, what was his name, the Dune composer?
Hans Zimmer?
Like Hans Zimmer doesn't know how to compose the music for your movie, I do not know how to design this marble machine. So we're gonna show you suggestion that was sent in by a viewer, which is a very, very nice rundown of kind of the two approaches, the modular design to the left and the all-in-one design to the right. And I just wanted, Hannes Sir 3K, would you please tell the viewers about your feeling of the DNA of the first machine and everything you told me the other day?
Oh wow, that's a tall order. Do you want me to remember that? What was our discussion? The DNA. I just need to get in that mind frame again. The mind frame?
Yeah, but it's like programming language with frame, and you're a bot, so maybe that's why you don't have mindset, you have mind frames or something. What we talked about is that what is the marble machine actually? Like, it's the cool thing that it's one machine that has so many things, like convoluted, I hope I'm intertwined, and it's like a Rube Goldberg machine. Everything happens at the same time in one machine. And it's kind of hard to understand how it works, but it works. And it's like intriguing because it's this little small music box, and out of it comes something big and huge. And how much would that be lost if we went for a much bigger machine where everything is separated? And if we can go to actually to the sketch pad, when I find we don't have to put the modules apart from each other. So if I can find so yeah, here for example. So here's the modules. This is the modular design, and everything is apart. So it looks like, yeah, that's three machines. That's not the marble machine. But we can have this mindset and put them into one machine like this. So here's Bowden cables allowing us to spread out the instruments, which is good for, and we can also do something that I think is the closest, this one. But actually vibraphone and drums would change place here. Do we have the wide MM3 slide?
I can find it.
Maybe we don't have the keynote. Never mind. So I'm gonna give you your the pass here, what you were talking about is like the DNA of one machine versus the modular design.
Yeah.
And basically, you said a lot of smart things about that. Can you just repeat them, please?
Can I just repeat everything I said? And then I have like, here we have Holdsworth hands also. The hole in one is the spirit. It is kind of the point of the machine. And that's perhaps a little bit where I was going, right? When we talked about it. And for me, the DNA of it all, I talked about on the streams earlier as well. It's like, it's not a self-playing machine altogether. It's the interaction between you and the machine also. And that's why I get so annoyed when I hear mallet machine. I know you're joking.
I have to provide context because that was the previous stream. I even contemplated building a mallet machine instead. So no marbles because it's formed from function absolutism. But that I agree is too much of a step into a new family of something else. Go on.
As the chat says, like the main spirit of it, having it is everything in one. It's not modular, connected together. A lot of like extension. I don't know.
Okay, so let me. Can you bring that comment up again? I thought it was really nice. the whole Holdsworth hands. The whole in one is the spirit. It is kind of the point of the machine. So my question for you, Holdsworth hands. I love your comment. Let me draw something for you.
K-Mac. To me, the coolest part is that it's one machine. I'm in the one machine camp.
Let me ask the audience something here, to you, K-Mac, and to Holdsworth, and to everyone else. If the machine was large, so we have here alternative 1. This is the all-in-one that we know and love, and that I don't think will give me the music requirements that I feel I need. That's why I think. But maybe, like Organ Guy said, the current design requirements are too ambitious.
Yeah.
So this is let's call this the classic footprint.
And I have also here like, this is kind of same as I think then, perhaps Marcus Hoffman. Modular is a marble machine, but not Wintergatan's marble machine. That's kind of in the same vein of the DNA, like the whole feel about it.
Yeah. So on the completely other side of the spectra, let's make it, I'm gonna draw it, where can I draw? There. I'm gonna draw it down here. Let's draw it like this. We should look at Pat Metheny's Orchestrion, because I think I was a big Pat Metheny fan, but that is a mechanical music instrument project that's kind of boring to watch. And it's actually spread out, so it's a lot of mechanical music instruments everywhere. And it's not entertaining in my it's also MIDI and solenoid controlled, and you know how I feel about that. So down here,
And here's a comment that goes straight to my heart from K-Mac once again. Iron Man 3 was lame because he had many autonomous machines. The coolest thing about Iron Man is the man and the machine interaction. Be the musical Iron Man.
Woo! That's so fun. That's a good one. K-Mac.
Mr. B Fox 7075, as a lot of people also suggests, previous machines only used one side. There are 3 other sides that can hold instruments. And I'm a little bit in this camp as well. We haven't really gone through the whole idea.
If you're going this way, I'm gonna go Jean-Michel Jarre's circular on you all.
Okay.
Because like the circular thing opens up to me the Iron Man thing, and also that you can have a stage podium that is actually turning slowly is actually really not difficult. So K-Mac, by the way, there's a fantastic YouTuber called K-Mac who makes guitar videos. I don't think it's you in the comments, but if it was you, I appreciate your videos. So
J. Israelsson, one machine equals the machine. Several machines equals machine band members. I would prefer the former rather than the later.
yeah, so look, check this out. We have a scale here from 1 down to 3. Classic footprint, completely modular. Let me see if I can be a little fancy. Should I be a little fancy? Of course I should be a little fancy.
That's what we're all about here.
So I learned that I can lower the layer opacity there. Then I'm gonna make a nice gradient, everyone.
And while you do that, Andrew Hildebrand just being brilliant here in chat, supporting us with a nice super chat here, and says it must solve the marble problem elegantly. It does not need to be infinitely capable. The elegance of solution is the magic.
Yes, I so much resonate with this.
Boom!
I so much resonate with this. Syrup.
Also, great perspective. This one here from R.A. Ray. Been watching your videos for years, and I don't particularly care what form it takes as long as it's fully mechanical.
I resonate with that too.
Fritjof Finsnes Henriksen. A modular machine looks like something I have seen before. Whole in one is something new and unique.
Yeah, the modular has been done, right? I don't know what I'm doing. I just need some colors.
I think Bibu Champ said this earlier, but this is also interesting. Just 2 modules. The vibraphone plus bass as one and a drum loop as another. Then stack them. They can look as one machine. Then if you finish the top, you at least have a product even without drums.
So this is exactly where I'm going, because I'm of course gonna present to you the middle alternative here, which I don't know how I perceive, and I'm curious to hear how you, Sir 3000, perceive this. Because here, in the purple, between the blue and the red, wrong color. So annoying. I'm on edge. I'm on edge. 2, we have the broad. I don't also have any space left. We have the big all-in-one machine. Can I please draw it somewhere where I have place? So it's all-in-one, but we have the drums here to the right, drums, and here's the vibraphone. They're not on top of each other, they're not intertwined, and here's the bass guitar. And here's me playing it. So 2 is the big all-in-one.
Yeah.
So sections, not modules. That's how I think about it.
Yeah.
Sections, not modules. I don't need them to be modular, separated from each other. So everyone who has been like super clear about your relationship to the Iron Man. I've also seen the movie when Iron Man is like, "You automatic bot, go and fix this problem," and I you're right, it's lame. So if I build this monster, I think it would be like 2 meter wide. So let's say that this is 1 meter. And let's say that this is 2 meter. Let's just say that it's double. I feel I really do not know what relationship I have to this machine.
What is it mainly that disturbs you with the wide solution?
So, you know what? 2A. Let's do a sneaky 2B. You know what that's going to be? Circular. That's a circular vibraphone right here with the mushroom and the machine 2B circular. Sorry, Hannes, can you repeat that question?
Basically what it is that really grinds your gears with a wide machine. How come that seems so distant in your mind?
It's like I'm scared because the machine has taken over my life completely. And if I make it twice as big, it's like it physically intimidates me. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ. Switching a 2 meter long, 90 centimeter, like huge barrel. I mean, it's the most epic ever. But should I just make songs with fewer notes on the vibraphone? Because that is what Organ Guy is intending when he says maybe the design requirements are too ambitious. Maybe you don't mean it like that. Maybe it was just an example. But so the magic of the first machine is its limitations. And if I want a full-size vibraphone with 174 registrators, the programming wheel needs to be quite big. And to machine that, I think we can do it, but it becomes this behemoth. The circular thing would also be a behemoth.
Yeah.
So what do you think about what is your reaction to the mid alternatives?
I see a lot of 2Bs and also stuff like this from Sandor Juhas. The machine can be wide, but the prog wheel doesn't have to.
Yeah.
I've been talking about as well.
So that machine, let me sketch that machine real quick. That's this machine, and I structure, like, solution wise, I completely believe in this machine. Where are the drums? I put a vibraphone here with me. Here's the vibraphone, sticking outside a little bit, and here's the drums. Like that. They have a loop wheel behind them, though. And I'm here. So it's more spread out.
Yeah. And a Steelskin 667 says the programming drum doesn't have to be that much bigger. You just need a bit more room for the instruments. That's the main quarry, right?
So it's really not a bit more. If we put the drums and the vibraphones next to each other, it's a lot more. Another idea, a lot of people want to put the drums under the vibraphone. And if we skip having the drums marble played, if the drums are only loop played or recharged played by the programming wheel, which has been solved today, the spring recharge solution, that's not for a discussion now. If we skip marbles on the drums and only have the vibraphone and the bass marble played, we all of a sudden have we can make a tighter footprint all of a sudden. It's just that this limitation of notes on the vibraphone, which we did the other day, the decision matrix for. This is truly like, and also having the big acoustic drums, it's truly making a big difference. And I just spent 5 years not having space for my components. So I just feel like I don't know if I want to spend 2 more years trying to fit things into spaces where that doesn't exist.
No?
So
that's a big no-no then. You can't be too tight. "3D Printer Academy" just sent a generous super chat here saying, "Are you completely against remaking Marble Machine X with 50% less parts and complexity?" Steven.
So this is a great comment, Steven. Thank you so much, 3D Printer Academy. I would have needed going to that school. Since when I started trying 3D printing, I thought I knew everything, talking about the known, the unknown knowns and stuff like that. What is happening here? Okay, yeah, I went to the wrong thing. Let's go back to CAD and let's check this. There is no sound in the kick drum of either of these instruments. In the room, I can show you exactly how the kick drum sounds.
Yeah.
Wait. Can we do it in the action cam?
Of course we can.
In the room, the kick drum sounds like this. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I've heard it.
And remaking, if we go back to the image here. When I was touring with both my bands, I used contact microphones a lot, and I put them on under instruments, and it's magical what you can do with a contact microphone. So in an electrified environment, you get a control that is unheard of. I showed the demo in the Marmachine X videos about signal to noise ratio. I put contact microphones on cymbals and stuff. I just want to go away from that for my music career. I just want to go away from this electronic contact microphone. Everything is fixed with plugins in Logic. I want to build something that sounds good in a room. So in my house in France, when people came by and they saw the machine, all of them asked me to play it.
Mm.
And
your heart.
And I was just like,
I just need to set up my 100 microphones.
I was like, I can't. And even if I could, you wouldn't hear it. So what I would have to do to these people is here, take a couple of studio headphones and let me just fix my 100 channels and you hear the live mix through the headphones. And it was going to be amazing. And live on stage, this is how these instruments, like live on, when you go to a big concert, you don't hear anything acoustically. Everything is, so it was a machine that was made for an amplified environment. And I think that is like when you say, do you want to rebuild the Marmachine X? No. I'm not interested in making a machine where someone super excited comes into a room and immediately wants to hear the machine and can't. I want to have the magic of the machine sounding pretty good in the YouTube videos where I'm building it before I'm putting the microphones on it. And it's sounding just even better because shit in, shit out is an old musician trope. And it's so true. And it's like when a chef becomes better with cooking. The chef is not using like 100 million ingredients. The chef is using fresh, best ingredients possible. And I'm so bored with like, oh, there's a rice in the stupid snare drum. The rice belongs in the kitchen. The snare drum I'm going to buy off the shelf to make it sound like how do we make a snare drum sound? Wait, I have an idea. I'm gonna use a snare drum. I'm just I'm done with it, Hannes.
Okay, yeah.
So no, which means we need a full-size snare drum, we need a full-size kick drum, which makes there's no space for a full-size kick drum on this machine. If I want a lot of vibraphone channels, and maybe that's where that's maybe the trade-off that I'm not mature enough to be able to make. Like maybe I just need to go down to playing like there is a song in Swedish, Till Paris. I'm gonna tour the whole world playing Till Paris ska jag rida på en gris, and that's the only song. Yeah, okay, there is drum. Best cover version ever of Till Paris, but that's the only song the machine will be able to play. Okay, I'll leave it there. Sir 3K, help me out here.
Another brilliant, beautiful support. A nice super chat there from Andrew Hildebrand yet again. Original form feels like another player on stage. Wide feels like a pickup truck. A non-character participant. Go with human form. Reduce the range requirements. Reduce the complexity. Embrace glory. Yes.
That's a good comment. I wanted to make this video because I think it's obvious. This stream because I think it's obvious that there is a big identity crisis in the project right now, and it's good. It's good. We need to have that because the first two machines are too similar.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about another constraint? The marbles playing the drums. I think it's kind of important that they do. Vibraphone next to the... So then we have, let's go to this sketch, Hannes, the 90-degree sketch. I have a lot of sketch here. Here, I have to take this away. Yeah. So this is kind of another like in-between move. OG form feels like another player on stage. Wide feels like a pickup truck, a non-character participant. Go with human form, reduce the range requirements, reduce the complexity, embrace glory. The beautiful comment. I mean, maybe I can play cool bass lines.
Yeah, you can. I've heard them. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, wow. Dynamic Commander with a nice little super chat here. 2 meters wide, 2 times 1 meter programming barrels side by side for easier interchangeability. Keep 1 barrel for vibraphone, 1 barrel for drums and bass.
That's one of your favorite suggestions.
Yes.
Thank you for the comment, Dynamic Commander. Hannes, can you pull up the MMX wide sketch?
I can try to find it. Yes.
Because I think that's one of the...
Absolutely.
So the suggestion that was just made, I can actually make in CAD right away. It's basically like this. Copy this and do this. And by having these separate, it's you don't have to change the whole thing. And then we need to tour with six wheels. And then we would actually move the vibraphone. Let's do that. I should actually do more in CAD like this. And then we should actually move the bass. So I'm CADing your suggestion right here. This is it. To me, it doesn't feel like a non-playable character when I see it like this. To me, this sounds like the... And you know what's cool? Here, we can remove this wheel. Check this out. Let me copy the frame. No, yeah, paste. Look at this machine, Hannes, I just made.
Yeah, you see, now we are talking.
Because this frame on this side wouldn't need to be that high. I should actually maybe do that. So with a Bowden cable, we only have 6 marbles to drop on the drums over here. So with the Bowden cable, we only need to get 6 marbles over there. This, and we still only need 2 wheels. Of course, depending on maybe I still need to remove some note requirements. What if I make this machine, but I reduce the number of notes on the vibraphone to just make it kind of not bigger than this? And I should maybe put the frames together so it doesn't look modular.
And oh my, I hear another ring here. And it's a question from Fredward here. You focused on the dream. Machine having everything you want. What is the absolute minimum machine that would make you happy? Thank you so much for your support.
This is great, Fredward. So we talked in the Photoshop document. Where are we? Here. We talked about minimum viable product, MVP. And I think there are 2 different ones. For the audience or for Martin. And of course, what we're trying to do here, which I'm so happy for, is that we're trying to find like alignment.
Yes.
Between and actually finishing something would make me... I haven't finished anything in 5 years. Like, and that's why maybe like to actually deliver on something, sometimes you also just have to deliver to actually deliver something. But here's the kicker. The larger I make the machine, not 100% true. the easier it is for me to deliver. In this setup, everything has its own space. It's like, maybe I should move the programming wheel into the middle a little bit. Let's move it there. Like, is this a modular machine or is this one machine? Do you have the wide sketch?
Yes, and I just want to. We got another one here.
Oh, now it feels like we're begging for it, but we're super happy for this support.
Is so, you're so generous, everyone. This means everything to us. And it's from Slice of Sparta. Who else? Always with us. Love it. Large doesn't necessarily mean difficult. It just means large. If it can easily disassemble, reassemble, ship, and transport, who cares how large it is? If it fits your requirements, engineer the size to be easy to work with.
Yeah, I totally agree, Slice of Sparta. And here's the wide MM3. We love this sketch.
Something about this.
Yeah, crafted by Aura. So, question to you, chat. When you look at the sketch, the wide MM3, do you feel that the magic is gone? Do you feel that... Or is the magic that we're making like the best sounding, most tight, acoustic, mechanical music instrument ever played? It's not fully acoustic with the electric bass. Sorry for leading question. No, give it... Steelskin 667 looks like one machine to me. I just want to talk about another bias like that we do have. If we just go back to my favorite image here.
And yes, this was nice, I think, from Robert Ekendal. I think we, the audience, wants to know what you feel excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, Robert, I am basically just pessimistic about the whole endeavor. Not about sitting here working on it. That is so much fun. But right now, I'm just like, I've become like a naysayer. Like, from being naive, I think I'm just so scared about how naive I was before and how I didn't underestimate a little bit. I was like in the wrong universe before. So right now I think I feel excited about reaching the point where I can know if I should make this project or not. Like, I'm already doing one project, the digital file, but if I can build it or not. But then sometimes I get a tingle of excitement when I have 37 notes on a full-size vibraphone with double drops that I can program mechanically. Jack Drury, this is the one.
An abstract backpack. If it works better, it is better. Wide equals good then. So,
what was the image I wanted to show? That's a nice comment text as well from Abstract Backpack. Oh yeah, I know which image I wanted to show. Hang on. Oh, I have a new setup. That's why I'm struggling. This. Look what happened here. From the first machine, everyone loves it, to the second machine, I loved it so much, I tried to build the same machine. I don't want to repeat this mistake. I think if we really take down the design requirements, I think we can build this machine and make it work. But the question is, do I want to mic a vibraphone that is 20 centimeters away from a snare drum? And the answer to that is no, I don't. Can I record the instruments separately in the studio and produce a fantastic album where I do as every musicians do, I record track by track to make a nice album for Spotify? Yes. Will it sound okay live? Yes. So this is another like thing. This is actually super important design requirement. When I make the album, how much studio sheeting will I allow myself to do? And I think as any responsible musician, I will allow myself to do any kind of studio sheeting. So actually this whole thing that I worry about now, that the snare drum is close to the vibraphone, for recording the album, it maybe doesn't matter.
And Toby Williams brings something up here. Being a naysayer is an important step. It's on the way to success.
Thanks, Toby. That's kind of, I'm digging myself down in my pessimism right now. Hannes is desperately trying to rescue me from drowning in pessimism. And it's almost, I'm flaunting how negative I am now because I'm secretly a little bit proud, just like you're hinting at.
Exactly as Thomas Kraft says here. Cheer up, Martin. We'll be right there cheering you on all the way. Also, Sir H3K, keep on woo-hooing.
It's so fun, and what I love now, I'm always wanted to make this process transparent. This process is happening transparently right now.
Extremely transparent.
Together
right
with you, yeah. I'm forgetting that it feels like we're here with friends who understands us. It's a wonderful feeling. Okay, so so this is a known unknown. We're talking about the footprint. To get any new viewers into the fray, I think it's a word.
Okay.
I just want to show what we did in the beginning of the stream. We have identified what I think are the most important known unknowns. We want to eventually move them to this side to make them known knowns. And we're talking right now about the machine footprint and the machine DNA. And it is very obvious that the previous machines are so loved, but I think there is maybe a trap there. In the love for our old machines, can you find on YouTube Pat Metheny's Orchestrion project?
Yeah, soonish. I am busy here reading the wonderful chat. And as Max No Million says, to make it feel less wide, you could build the two drums not in a straight line. So maybe like a 120-degree angle between them.
Oh, that's a good idea. And there we come also towards the circular thing. So,
and also here, Louis Philippe Gingras, wider mean easier to make and easier to see things.
Yeah, definitely, totally agree. Can I move around? Let me see if it allows me. I don't think so. Oh, it does. No, it doesn't. It only moves in a group.
Okay, let's see. Björn Norgard. I think it needs to be somewhat complicated to be interesting, like a mechanical watch versus a quartz watch. Okay, so that's in the DNA for him.
Mechanical watch versus a quartz watch. Yeah, so I totally agree with you, Björn. The intertwinedness makes it exciting. Like, how is it still working despite the fact, like, it's the Antikythera mechanism. Like, everything is so compact and close to each other. But believe me, this would still be so busy. We have 1% of the parts on screen right now. I'm thinking, you know what? We had this nice comment about the drum placement. I'm going to go and do some design, actually.
And also here, speaking about drum placement from Red Hot Bagel, for me, some of the magic is in the compactness. Can you go more compact when drums aren't marble played?
Yes. If the drums aren't marble played, we can go much more compact. But then the drum loop is only 16 beats. And with the marbles, they can make variations, which I thought was so magical. Let's go over to the drum kit assembly and see if we can move things around a little bit.
And some perspective before I start looking for that clip you wanted me to look at. One bald man. Bigger isn't always better, just quote-unquote easier. Look at NASA versus SpaceX. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. I should know the reference. Oh, do you mean like the bigger like company or rocket?
Probably rocket-like.
I'm going to move. Why is this like this? This didn't end up well. Move. This is parametric design, so I can actually move it properly. by activating this and going down into my timeline. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna make a copy of this and I'm gonna kill all the links so we can move things around freely in this design. I think that's the proper thing to do. Let me cut this off and let me cut this off. Let me go into this view. So I should have prepared this. I'm going to copy this one. Copy. And I'm going to open up this new sketch one. Then I'm going to kill. So what you do is that you can kill all the design history in this copy. And then I can kill the link to the other things. I'm just killing all the design history so we can move the drums freely. So let's do that. Super fun to brainstorm with y'all. I've been longing for this. Break link. And again, the thing with the straight line is making it easier to that doesn't work. Can I move it like this?
What was the artist again you wanted me to look for?
Oh, it's because there's a rigid Pat Metheny Orchestrion project.
Pat Metheny.
While I love Pat Metheny, this is a good example of when the modular design becomes. So I can show where I think the modular design has gone too far. I don't think we can play the music, but we can probably look a little bit on the video.
An excerpt from the Orchestrion project, perhaps.
Yeah, that's good.
I hope it's muted. No, let's mute.
Why am I not allowed to move a single thing in this CAD?
Here we also have someone again talking about, let's see here, hyperban. Can you put registrators instruments on both sides of the drum? It would need a different mechanism on the opposite side.
Can you put registrators instruments on both sides of the drum? It would need a different mechanism on that side. So that is possible. For me, that is the 90-degree example. So on the iPad, if we go to the Sketchpad, we are kind of looking at that. And for me, one like pivotal design tenet is that if someone looks at the machine, I always wanted them to be able to look at all the action at the same time. So let's say that if we wrap the instrument around one corner, that should be possible. And in this case, if the drums are here and these are the loop beaters, this loop wheel will have to be 90 degrees facing this direction and the programming wheel this direction. And we only have to have 6 channels with marbles. I only want 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. So we only have to go over 6 times with 6 Bowden cables over to this side. You always loved this, didn't you, Sir 3K?
Yeah. Here's also something we have talked about in different occasions from Jim Herbert. To make the bass more compact, since the person will not handling the guitar, it does not need the body. All you need is the neck and strings and pickup/electronics.
Nice comment. I said to Hannes the other day, I'm actually prepared to use a stick bass. So let's go back to CAD. And so I really wanted like a cello shape and stuff like that. And I just said the other day, I actually prepared to do some soul searching. So let's cut this beautiful body away. Let's make our dreams. Let's dream some new dreams. And let's not be bogged down by our old dreams.
Yeah, it looks cool, but perhaps it doesn't need to be that way.
Form from function.
It was also nice. I will just pull it up as well from BBoo Champ. I agree with whoever said that they loved the way the MMX hi-hat system worked. That was magical. No marbles involved and still magical.
Oh, like the hi-hat machine?
Yeah.
The loop drum
Will be
is going to be
crazy cool.
crazy magical. Oh, look at that. I hate it.
Yeah, for now we hate it. But space-wise,
Well, we need still, if we're going to be played by more. Ooh, I figured out the other day. Sorry, I'm getting excited. I figured out.
We love when you get excited, man.
I figured out a new pattern for the hammer jammer of the bass. So here we're looking at the strings from the top. In the wrong order, never mind. And I thought the hammer jammer needed to be like this. So 8 hit points like this, and they flare like this, and one more. But I think that if we doesn't want to flare, that we could actually make the hit point something like this. With the double, because we need to invent a double drop anyway. So then because I was thinking when we make the bass smaller, so now you can see that the hit points are almost as the string size, almost. Okay, let's go to CAD.
Yeah. And Joachim Monsen asked her, what about beaters for the drum like the bass? And there are beaters on the drums. Beaters and marbles are getting dropped.
Yes. So I have them here. They are ugly right now. They're only there for... and these beaters are 4 times tighter than the marbles were on the Marble Machine X. And marbles were pretty tight. So I'm expecting really good performance from the drummer, and it will have like a solid foundation of the beat. So they are tighter because this loop wheel rotates 4 times faster than this wheel. And I actually thought it would rotate 8 times faster, but I realized that was even too fast. So where were we?
And I have another one to just throw out here, because this is also interesting. From one bald man, curve the front of all the instruments. Drums in the middle, split the vibraphone between each side. Think crescent moon. Machine is deeper, not wider.
Curve the front, all the instruments. Drums in the middle. Split the vibraphone between each side. Think crescent moon. Machine is deeper, not wider. Also, like 2 flanks.
Yeah.
Drums in the middle. Split the vibraphone between each side. So I'm very much in love with the circular vibraphone. And if somehow from a footprint perspective that could be form from function, I'm like, oh yes. So crescent moon.
And BBoo Champ, I love this comment also. Hammer Jammer was my suggestion, by the way. I expect either to be paid billions from a genius of the MM3 or a 50% discount on your Canadian MM3 World Tour concert.
Fantastic, Bibo. The Hammer Jammer has solved a lot. Thank you so much for that suggestion. I would love to have an official way to record all those little small contributions. Maybe that's something that the community can start keeping track of without starting to climb on each other, fighting for glory and being enemies, mortal enemies. Yeah, the Hammer Jammer is great. It's a deal. It's a deal. The discount is a deal. But no, I'm not selling the butter before it's made this time.
No.
Probably there will never be a tour, so
But perhaps we will tour the land of Canada and we can just go and shake his hand.
That would be fantastic.
50% off for the handshake.
Look at Sir 3K, who has a selling upgrade and is now selling handshakes. That went fast. I love it. Love it. Love it. We Swedes are not good marketing people.
No.
We have to learn from our friends across the pond who are much better.
We think like, okay, if we just sit in our t-shirts, people will buy them. But that's an excellent way to support us, is to buy merch from us.
Look at the selling upgrade on this bot. My God, isn't it beautiful? Where are we? So this is such an interesting discussion we're having. Let's try to haul it back in. So I the line of the drums, I've angled them a little bit like this now. But the fact to have things at a straight line is just the easiest way.
For all the dropping, right?
Not only that, but also for the distance to the loop machine. So it's the same action on the kick drum, same action on the snare drum, same space and everything.
Okay.
But let's go to one of our images with a mushroom. Because another thing that... Wait, let's go here. Let's go to the... I can actually do that myself. Not
Oh, wow. Double one.
So...
While you do that, I just want to put up here Robert Ekendal. I think you focus too much on drums. I think a really good vibraphone solution with the sort of working MMX bass is a cool MVP. Drums can be added later.
I have that feeling as well, Robert. I have this feeling that, like, imagine going to a concert and there's an intro. All this is played by marbles. No drums. And then we do the program switch trick. And it's still only marbles. I showed this 100 times. But what I mean is that this is why I want a full-size vibraphone. It has to be a full-size vibraphone, Knutsson.
Yeah, and you know what? Bibu Champ accepts the deal.
Wonderful, Vivo. Fantastic. And I just realized the marble catcher is also a red. I just turned it red. It's also a red known unknowns. And that's where I want to go to the circular sketch. Can we pull that up? Sir 3K. It's from the... No, wait. I have it in my sketchpad here. Because I sketched on the thing here.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. There we go.
Yeah. So I'm very worried about the marble capturing. Because I think it's gonna look ugly, and to have like a circular cake thing around the whole machine, and I come up like from a huge musical birthday cake. It makes so you remember?
Yes.
Exactly. That's exactly how I wanted. You remember the joke with the funnel? How can you ever forget it, right? Where did we have it? Is it here? Sketches. It's in this CAD. So we had this machine that we CADed in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I said like that we solved the funnel issue. And
it's still as funny today.
And I just mean, if we go to that, look at this and go over to the sketchpad, it's the same.
Yes, it's a brilliant idea.
And it would just like, it's a way to turn this design requirement of having something capturing all the marbles into kind of something beautiful. And yeah, it's a Jean-Michel Jarre circular keyboard.
And I will keep throwing nice comments your way, Martin. This is from MMXT for the win.
Wow, good
Martin,
username.
you inspire me so much. I have ADHD and love making music. Also, make a funnel with holes to make a circular vibraphone.
Also make a funnel with holes to make a circular vibraphone. First of all, I'm so happy for your comment. Second of all, I'm sorry your username didn't work out because I failed with the MMX.
But this is MMXT.
It's MMXT.
The touring version.
Now I see it.
The username is still on point and valid.
I have to.
It's up to you, Martin, to fail now.
Also make a funnel with holes to make a circular vibraphone. So let me sketch something about the circular design that has been on my mind. We're just brainstorming high level here. If we have a circular vibraphone, the funnels can be much larger because they are on the outside of the perimeter. So here we have one measurement, but the funnels can be here and they can be much larger. So with a circular vibraphone, we could potentially go back to individual funnels, which means that we could go to this feed only the red marbles into the red channel. So there's a loop here, which means that we don't need a marble divider. So if it's true that we could, so green marbles goes to green channel. With the circular design, I have the feeling, and if I sketch it from the side, I also have the feeling that we can take back the cool funnel design if we don't want the birthday cake. So if we have this, if we have the circular vibraphone here, a lot of engineers will be pissed off if I'm going serious with this. That we can have like these music funnels coming back to us.
Oh yeah, the flowers.
The flowers that failed. The first flowers that ever failed. So I'm not drawing them so beautifully here, but
we get the point.
And we can have them move when collecting, because thanks to the fact that this distance out here is much larger than the distance in here, we could make the funnels big enough so they're actually not missing the marbles like on the old. And then in this case, I do want the plates to move. And imagine that the resonator pipes would be this church organ style. So they will be longer and they will be shorter like this. I mean, it's so beautiful.
True thing of beaut.
It's a true thing of beaut. And then And then we could continue with the drums over here, like people have suggested. And then I'm playing over here, bass. There is something about this.
Yeah, and Slice of Sparta also commented, separating the vibraphone from the drums should make it much easier to play manually. Imagine moving from the bass over in front of the vibe.
Yes. That's why I want the bass guitar next to the vibraphone, so I can just stretch my hand and play like this. Of course, on the circular, it's going to be a little bit tricky. A circular chromatic.
Oh, brilliant context question for us here on Wintergatan Live as well. Chief asks here, I love your channel. I'm sure you've answered this, but will these streams be edited at some point? I know these streams won't be edited, but over on the main Wintergatan YouTube channel, we do weekly summaries of what we've been doing these weeks on Wintergatan Live. So here we stream everything, the whole process, and on Wednesdays on the main channel we summarize what's been going on. So if you want condensed versions, that's on Wednesdays on the main Wintergatan YouTube channel. Thank you so much.
Definitely, thank you so much. And I'm trying to rein in this discussion to maybe to get somewhere, like what can we get out of this? I really appreciate it.
ZG1, like a big organ register, like left the bass, middle vibraphone, and right drums in a winkled half square.
Like left the bass, middle vibraphone, and right drums in like a big organ register. Yeah, I like this winkled half square. It's the 90-degree solution, I think. So, how do we summarize all our collective thoughts? First of all,
I just have more here.
oh wow,
Dynamic commander. Remember that the crowd watching the show would be placed on a lower height than machine. Catching marbles in front of the vibraphone will block view.
that's also very, very, very true. One idea that is interesting is if we can angle. And I was thinking about that actually in regards to, that's a good thought. So if we go to the sketch pad, so say the marble comes down here. If we make more of an angle this time, then the volume will be less. But then the marble will move straight down right away. I'm painting outside the... but then the resonator will be in. And if we then have a circular arrangement, these resonators will start to collide. So they have to be far apart so they can fit. Good sketching here. And that will also be very visual. Because then we can have the funnels below to not obstruct the view.
Yeah.
I think on big shows we're gonna have like cameras also on big screens and stuff like that, but you do want to see the machine.
Yeah, absolutely. And a follow-up from Chief here. Oh, good. Thank you so much. Again, just love your content and wish you the best. Seeing you working to achieve your dream is so awesome.
Thank you so much. I am right now. I don't know if this is a dream that it will be only a pipe dream or if it can actually be something. So where do we summarize where we're standing? I wanna show you once again where we started. This. And I think the upcoming week or weeks, I'm going to keep on dive deeper in this. The Bowden hydraulics means if we can put an instrument further away from the programming wheel. And the marble size and materials means how much width do we need between gates. If I want big marbles like this, 30 or 40 millimeters, the gates naturally have to be more wide apart. And yeah, I don't know the MVP, minimum viable product for the audience or for Martin thing. This is basically, I start to really understand why people have said you have to write design requirements before designing. So that's why I think in the upcoming weeks, it's going to be a lot of sketching and a lot of design requirement thinking. What do you think? What are your high level thoughts right now, Sir 3K, about the design?
Okay, yeah, I'm reading chat so much, so I get influenced over there as well. But I see a lot of, like we talked about, a hybrid between the 2A and 2B ones with all the sign. Yeah, let's go back to.
Yeah, this is a good summary actually. Right here, the 2A and the 2B. I think where I'm sitting right now. Version 1, another Marble Machine X, excluded. Version 3, completely modular, Pat Metheny orchestrion style, excluded. Big, all-in-one, sections not modules, square, 90 degrees, or circular, or a combination.
Yeah, and we need to think about all the placement of, can we place stuff on the side? Can we place stuff in the back?
You know
save
what
space.
What is the time? 1920. You know what I want to do? I want to do a 90 degree as fast as I can.
Absolutely.
See if this CAD want to work with me. Let's take this and let's turn it into a 90-degree thing. Because I think I can actually move okay, I'm gonna give you a better thing. Let's do this.
2B people are saying here 90-degree solution for the win.
I'm gonna show you the 90-degree. I've excluded it from my mind.
Toby, instead of these 4 options, 1, 2, 3, you could do something in between 2A and 2B. In front, a straight vibraphone, off the shelf, and on the sides, a bit circular, like the bass and the drums.
That's also very, very interesting. So there is something with this design. It doesn't... Oh, maybe it's because I have to save it. Hang on. Is that why I can't move things? Why don't you allow me to move this? It's so strange. I think...
Satish Kumar, you should do a decision matrix on these.
Ah, interesting.
You see, chat has also learned. Our viewers have learned now. That's how you do the tough decisions. Do a matrix.
There's something with this. There's something here. Why am I not allowed to move things? Here, this one I can move. This one doesn't allow me to move. Is there a rigid group or something somewhere? I can move this one. But if I try to, it won't go. And I killed the design history. Maybe if I start the design history again. Fusion is not working with me. No. So I have to copy it and paste it again. I can do that. Copy.
Stefano Azzalini, ni är beep grymma grabbar. Kör hårt. Live in Herrljunga 2023. Herrljunga it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I managed to do a workaround. This is not that bad. This is maybe not that bad. Maybe there is something to this. Because what I really want is to not have things on top of each other. So what happens now is I can... You like it?
I'm starting to getting some minor goosebumps appearing.
Minor goosebumps? Most of all, the machine itself will become like an acoustic wall between the snare and the vibraphone. So I can put the snare on the side where the hi-hat is. This doesn't look bad. And let me just put the snare in there. Hey, little stick bass.
Get over here.
Get over here. Get your ugly face over here. Little duckling. It's the ugly duckling. You know what? I don't hate it.
No, I know.
Because when you look at it from here,
there we go. Gimpy 612. Yes, I love it.
Hang on, Gimpy. We need to angle this. Fusion, please let me angle this. Okay, so some designs have some restrictions for some reason. So the loop wheel, did you see what I did? I put it in a 90-degree angle because it has to be perpendicular to the drums. So
and Magnus Sörensen loves it also. He has been posting suggestions. I remember that name.
We recognize you, Magnus, from your great suggestions. So fun that you're here live. And this is pretty cool. Like, imagine seeing this wheel turning like this and seeing this wheel turning like that.
Holy moly.
You like it?
Yes. It adds complexity without it being complex, right? Because they're going to work pretty simple, but it looks complex.
Listen to Circle 3K. It adds complexity without it being complex.
Wow.
So now I can move this friend in here.
Esteban Pratt. Perfect. And this says it all. Ben C.
All the smiley emojis. Well, it's a little bit of a joy calculation now because I don't know if we can fit that many programming tracks on this small wheel.
Yes.
So let me try to make you all a little bit maybe less excited.
Marcus Hoffman, finally what the chat has been screaming for days.
That's fun. I'm going to just make the wheel a little bit larger. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Mike Kelly, perfect example of form from function. Okay, yeah.
Imagine this angle. You're seeing like the drums play. Let me just make a pattern on this drum beater because that is going to make this is gonna make people fall in love with this angle. So I'm just gonna do a lot of beaters here. Let's do 10. No. Let's do 10. Sometimes. I have to redo that. Sorry for this. Select directions. This direction. And I drag it out. And we need... So let me just...
Nikita Kutselev, it seems very difficult to change the bottom wheel, and that's the beautiful thing. That is not going to be changed, right?
Yeah, it is going to be changed.
Is it going to be changed?
Nikita, you're absolutely correct.
Well, let's work on that next then.
Yeah, that's something we have to figure out.
Yeah. One step at a time. This is just we're getting a feel of, is this even possible?
Yeah.
Aesthetic-wise and work-wise.
I'm going to move the registrator assembly over to the correct position, like there. Boom. Looks better. And I want the base a little bit closer. But maybe that's hopium. And I really want to... I want 2 rows of the vibraphone. Let me at least look at it one last time. Here we go. Marble Machine 3, everyone. Thanks for watching. Now this is fun, but it's going to be a lot of... So the flywheel... Oh, I just had a crazy idea.
I love those.
Check this out. Because this flywheel is the proudest thing on the machine for me. What if we move it into prime position? It should probably be low, but let me just entertain the thought. So we're moving it up here.
Oh,
and because there because the flywheel is the ticking thing inside a clock. Like it's the thing that makes this all this possible. And I've been dreaming about showcasing this flywheel ever since I started to think about the machine. I'm just gonna get everything else off.
Yeah, and I totally agree with Tessa here. Oh my God, this opens up so much space for cup holders.
Tessa is part T-Rex, Team T-Rex test. Someone said that with a cup holder on the machine, you would actually see how much vibrations are in are in the machine. That is true, Tessa. That's funny. So with the flywheel up there, let me just remove the flywheel down here.
Ooh, I'm getting a little bit giddy over here.
It's almost like the circular thing without being circular.
Yeah.
And of course, like the top view is just going to be gorgeous. Look at this.
Yes! 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 Oh!
And retro wave, like with all the arpeggios, like Like on the... Nice. But it's hopium, maybe. But maybe not. Maybe not. Nice, like camera action when you kind of fly here, like. It is fun, actually. It is fun. What have we solved? The instruments are not on top of each other. That's something.
Desert Pillar, H3K excitement levels are on point for sure. And you know what? They are not faked at all. This is just genuine happiness coming out of me. Woo!
It's even more endearing for me in the room because Hannes knows that I've been tensed for 2 days. So what he's actually happy about is that he sees me feeling a little bit better. Plus that I think you love the look of the machine. Let's turn the camera to orthographic. Then it's not so cool. Okay, let's go back to perspective.
Ben C. I unlike the stream to like it again.
That's brilliant.
That's a good place for a reminder from me. If there are any new viewers, please you subscribe to this channel so you get all the live stream notifications, and also like the videos because that helps us tremendously, actually. So thank you so much for that unliking and liking. And Gonsonator says flywheel should be lower for stability.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are trade-offs to be made here as well, but it's fun to explore this. I've been hearing it in chat a lot. And I've been thinking of it as well. Just to see the possibilities with this is exciting.
So regarding the flywheel, I didn't think of it actually. But you will really see it as well if it's down there where it was. Because, let me see, the drivetrain. I think it's this one. I just have to locate it. I'm going to put the old flywheel on here. So when you're here, if the flywheel's big enough, you will sense it rotating behind the drums as well. So maybe form from function, it should be down there.
And as B-Boot Champ says, you know what they say about incredibly dangerous spinning metal flywheels. Always put them as high as possible and ideally at head height.
Bevo, I listened to you about a hammer jammer. I'm not sure I should listen this time. Well, everyone, this was this gives us all something to think about. I think if we go back quickly to the sketchpad, I think we're kind of in that middle section with this one.
Yeah,
we're kind of in it's actually the 2C. Let's actually 2C is the 90 degree. Tick 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 and drums here. I like how that last sketch is smallest. So we're kind of in that territory now where it doesn't feel modular. It doesn't feel modular. It has. Let's put this next to. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this here, and then I'm going to open up. Can you entertain the audience when I make one thing here?
What are you asking of me? Now that I'm at my happiest. And Foundations here says to me, Hannes, please check the Discord live stream chat for a suggestion. I will take a look at that off stream. We're soonish finished here, so. But thank you so much. I will take a look at it.
Okay, I'm gonna do this, and I'm just gonna prepare something for you all something to leave you all on a high note here.
Yeah.
And
Lucas Vandal says that, by the way, you don't need the belts pulley to be on the same size of the barrel, or same side of the barrel, I think he means, right? And Cypunk 215, try different orientations of the instruments, then rework the frame. Yes. Wow, this makes me happy, at least. Experimenting a little bit. Woohoo!
One second.
Yeah,
It's going to be worth it.
I know it's gonna be.
Let me just do this.
And Nicholas Stabilini, double fly wheel size and put it on the other side. Double it. Even bigger. And I see a lot of people has uploaded sketches to Dropbox, and we will look at them perhaps off stream. We can't always bring them up live here. But thank you so much for suggesting stuff to us. You are the greatest crowd to have, and you're so kind and generous. A lot of super chats today, which is a way that you can contribute to us, since Martin closed down Patreon and YouTube members when the MMX was discontinued, as we say. Super chats and buying our merch is kind of like the only ways to support us nowadays. So thank you very, very much. We appreciate it really, really much.
Especially since we're really professional with how we make that sliding things around in the stream. Now, sincerely, thank you, everyone. Here is where I want to leave you all today. I've put a third machine. I put a third machine, and what makes me happy is that it's clearly not
the
same, but you can clearly feel that they're related.
You know what? Put just hearts in my eyes right now.
You love it?
This is gonna be great.
Yeah. And what else is great is that having this process with you live is making me very much happy. I went from went from uber skeptic to carefully optimistic.
Yes.
Something like that. And I'm going to mark this live stream as done. Thank you, everyone, for being so fantastic, and we wish you all a fantastic day.